All right, everybody, back at it again. This is Ringside Presents Corner Confessions. I am Troy Vaughn, also known as Trey Amazing, and today we have a very special treat for you guys. If you live in Atlanta, let me tell you, okay, we are here with the notorious, the intrepid, the legendary Blondie Strange. And if you live here in Atlanta, if you have never heard of Blondie Strange, you have been living under a rock, or you're just unpopular, or you just don't get out much. But this is a true honor. I'm here with someone that I've known about her for a very, very long time. I've been in Atlanta since 1997, and I've been hearing the name Blondie Strange out there. So to say that your reputation precedes you would be a gross understatement. But first and foremost, thank you so much for joining me and allowing me the opportunity to interview you. So without further ado, Blondie, we're going to talk about something that really puts Atlanta on the map. We're going to talk about strip club culture, okay? And this is a topic that you know a lot about, something that you can write a book about. You have women out here. There are women out here literally right now who are dancing, who followed your playbook or who knew about you, who studied you, and who are out here, following your same footsteps, making money. But really quickly, tell people like how you got into, the strip club culture of Atlanta. Like what brought you here, and where your roots lie as far as the city of Atlanta.
Well, Troy, I'd like to say that Atlanta was not my first place to dance because I am not from here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Dayton, Ohio, of course. But anyway, I started stripping in Evansville, Indiana. It was a college town. I was 19, just old enough. The bar I worked at, the Red Lion Lounge. Yeah, nope, that was in New York. That was in Nashville. Sorry. No, I can't remember even the name of this particular place. But anyway, that's where I first place started dancing. You had to be 21 to drink, but they let me drink, right? Because I handled myself very, very well. And it was a burlesque club. It was so nice there in Evansville. It was right next to a bar, and then the college was like about 3 or 4 blocks away. A lot of college kids came in, because the law was only 18 back then, right? Mm-hmm. And then I went to Nashville and danced for about 6 months there. Then I went to Chattanooga, danced a few months there, and then some just said, come to Atlanta. And I hit it at the right time.
All right.
And I didn't come to Clermont first. I came to another bar that was on the strip there. It was no longer there, called the Aquarius Lounge. The guy that owned it, Tommy Williams, and then a gay guy owned it, Bill, I can't even think of his last name too. But anyway, these were great clubs, and I was so glad to be a part of it. But when I came to Atlanta, and when I came to the Clermont, I knew I was going to be there for a long time. Didn't think I was going to be there 43 years, but I came to Clermont. I loved it. I stayed. I made a reputation there, and I'm so thankful to God that I still have a job at my age. I'm 64 now.
64, and let me tell you, the fact remains, you have definitely cemented your status in Atlanta, because again, you are all over Google. You are part of Atlanta history. Now, for a lot of people, like I said, I came to Atlanta in '97. A lot of people, as far as strip clubs, they know about the Magic Cities. They knew about Club Nicky's and all these other spots. When someone, I forgot who it was, one
or
of my
the
friends.
Cheetah.
Or Club Cheetah, yeah, I remember that. I remember Club Cheetah.
And the Gold Club.
I don't live too far from where the Gold Club. But when people mentioned to me Clermont Lounge, I had no idea. I didn't know what to expect. They just said, no, you got to go to this club called Clermont Lounge. It's down there on Ponce. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm a young kid at the time. And I'm thinking, okay, what's so special about Clermont Lounge? All these strip clubs in Atlanta, there's a strip club on every corner, almost like a church. What is so special about Clermont Lounge? And then more and more people start saying, yo, they got this black woman with blonde hair. They call her Blondie. And I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. And the more and more you start asking different men, even different women, everybody's talking about Blondie. So what set you apart? Because again, this is Atlanta, Georgia. This is strip club capital. What makes Blondie Strange Blondie Strange?
Well, I take pride in my work, and I try to do good and be good to all the girls that work there. We're all the same. I may have a better status than they've been there many years, but I'm not better than anybody. God lets you know that. I got a little arrogant there after I was on Sally Jesse, but he kind of knocked me back down because you're no different than anybody else. My sins are just as good or bad as anybody else's, but I try to do the right thing and get along, and I try to let my girls get along with each other. I just try to set an example for my girls.
Okay.
And try to tell them, don't worry about the money so much. I said, God's going to bless you. He's going to bless you because last year when we had COVID, Katie was getting me gigs. I had a gay boyfriend that took good care of me, and I had a lot of friends I hung out with.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't worry about nothing. I never worried, not whatsoever. And Katie and Robert, my lawyer, was able to keep me at where I live at, which is an expensive hotel. But I don't know what sets me apart from anybody else. I just got that character, that personality that just like goes out there. And I'm really a good dancer. I do drop kicks, splits, back bends. I can buck dance in 5-inch heels. I do ballet, a little jazz. So, you'll have to come down and see that. I think you've already seen me, but you were drunk and just don't remember.
I probably was because
nobody forgets Blondie.
I do remember the few times I've been to Clermont. I remember getting just shit-faced drunk.
Well, you're supposed to.
Get hammered, but I spent money and had some good meals there. So, you've been dancing for over 40 years. 43 years.
At the Clermont.
At the Clermont. You've seen changes in Atlanta just overall. What do you think what are some of the changes that you witnessed as far as the strip club culture in Atlanta in the 43 years you've been dancing? Like, has it been changed for the better, changed for the worse, or just, kind of remained the same?
I think there's been lots of changes for better, some changes for worse. Because I'll tell you what, the Clermont Lounge was not really recognized back in the old days because they had women that were over 40 and 50 years old then, and we had young girls. I was one of the young girls. Some of those girls have passed on, that were with the club. Some of them young, some of them old. But it was different than the other cheetah because they didn't hire you unless you looked a certain way. Mm-hmm. Most of these clubs, that you have to look a certain way. Mm-hmm. And the Clermont Lounge was just different. That's what Anthony Bourdain loved about the Clermont Lounge because it was just like, wow, this is a place like out of Hollywood, but just like a little dive bar. And he loved it so much. I loved him very, very much. And I was on his show. I was on a show called Layover.
Rest in peace, Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I loved it. But the Clermont Lounge is just different. How many strip clubs do you know that have karaoke, bands, and we have disco and punk on Saturday night where people can dance? Mm-hmm. You don't have that at other strip clubs. That sets us apart. Not just me, but different girls from different cultures, different sizes. Everybody's not like skinny. I used to be skinny. But I don't care about that anymore. It's character. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. A lot of girls are, we got a girl that just started there a few weeks ago. She's a big tall girl. She's at least 6'1", and she wears like 3-inch heels, but she can't get on stage with them because she's tall. And she's a big girl. She's a big girl, but she's pretty and she's a great dancer. Her name's Coco, white girl. Mm-hmm. We had a girl named Shadow, black girl, very beautiful, but she didn't stay, and I don't know why. But maybe she'll find something better somewhere else. But we had girls of all different races, and I just seemed to stand out. And people noticed that. Katie noticed it. But she had already heard about me anyway. But I love being there. I love being there.
Your name is legendary. Let's be honest. And I have no doubt that, the Clermont Lounge, though it was there, before
it wasn't respected, though.
It wasn't the same. I think you brought a lot of business to that club. You can't, I think it's almost to the point where Clermont Lounge is synonymous with Blondie Strange. Like, you can't remove one without the other.
I didn't bring my book. Kate will have to show it to you from Robert's place. I didn't bring it. I almost thought to bring it. I forgot about it. It's called Dancing Naked in the Material World. Marilyn Putterman did this book. It's a black and white pictures of all different dancers back in the early 90s. Some of them were taken in the 80s. Some of my most beautiful pictures are in there. That's when I was a skinny girl.
We can link it in the description. We'll have it linked to the video.
Oh, sure. I've got some pictures I could show you. Just those pictures. That book, Marilyn put that book on the market. It's not, you can't get it anymore unless you get it online. If Ray got one online, I'm gonna get one for Katie anyway. Mm-hmm. But you have to get it online. But it brought attention to the Clermont Lounge to all over the world. Now, most people that lived in Georgia knew about the Clermont Lounge, but not people all over the world. But now everybody knows.
I think a lot of people know about Clermont Lounge.
Oh yeah.
I think Clermont Lounge is one of those. must-see places you have to travel?
Oh well, if I made it in the Time magazine, now I've been in Atlanta magazine about 4 or 5 times for different things, interviews and stuff like that. Been in Creative Loafing more times I can count. I've written a few things for Atlanta Journal-Constitution, just in Creative Loafing as well. You know, whenever they ask me, I was very happy to do it.
Very good. Okay. I mean, no, your resume speaks for itself. I mean, you have a lengthy resume. You've done a lot. You've seen a lot. I mean, again, being in Atlanta, I would consider you royalty. You're part of Atlanta royalty. So for, the women out there, you're going to have a lot of women. Like you said, you just had a young lady, this young lady that just started recently at the Clermont Lounge. For the women out there who are thinking about, stepping into this pond of stripping, they may be contemplating like, is this something for me? What would you tell a young lady, 18, 19, 21
You have
year
to
old?
be 21 to dance at the Clermont Lounge.
Okay.
And all the other clubs too, maybe at some of the other. But when it was 18, we had lots of different girls. But we seemed to have more trouble with the younger girls. We had some
Younger
girls
girls.
that were 20, 21 last year, and they were just a lot of trouble. I don't know why this girl just graduated from Georgia State.
Okay.
I didn't graduate from Emory. I didn't need to go to college for full time. My sugar daddy paid for, just night classes, and they were quite expensive. But I learned stuff. I learned different stuff: theater, acting, writing, children's fiction, creative writing, children's fiction. Just different creative, all different kind of stuff. I mean, I just really learned a lot, and the night classes really taught me to be a better writer. I haven't written a book yet, but I've written one-act plays and stuff like that. I've done all kinds of. But I would tell a young lady, please get your education first. Get your education first, and then you will have a perspective, and you probably need some money to help pay for college, because college is not cheap.
College is not cheap.
I only went to night classes, but they were over $100 a piece for mine, plus supplies and things. But I did quite well. But I would say get your education first, and then decide maybe what in life that you want to be. I always knew I wanted to be a dancer. I just didn't know what kind. I thought maybe it'd be a ballet, but then my tits grew too big.
All right. Yeah, I can see how they can get in the way.
Yeah. But you know what? I just saw on one of those talent shows a few weeks ago that these women that are doing ballet, they are different sizes. None of them are skinny. One's skinnier than the other, but I mean, they're all full-figured women, and they're doing ballet. Now, I didn't take it that far. It only took 2 years, so I never used to get on my toe, but I still can, dance pretty much. Not on my tiptoes, but tippies. And this is fantastic, and they're doing like drop kicks, splits, back bends. They're doing like the stuff that I do, but they're young girls. They're young girls. For me to be able to do it at my age, I'm so thankful.
And so, do you feel like the city of Atlanta? I mean, a big part of the revenue is garnered from strip clubs, from adult dancing. Do you see that being like the major nuance and draw of Atlanta?
I do. I mean, we have many places that you come to. I mean, you have to go to the Hotel Clermont.
Oh, yes.
Yes, definitely. It's very nice. I mean, they were so nice. I mean, I even have my dessert called Ode to Blondie. I tell people to go up there and eat.
You have a dessert there?
Yeah.
See?
Ode to Blondie, yeah.
I told you royalty.
But I've really had some, I mean, I've had a comic book, a t-shirt, a documentary. I mean, I've just done it all. I mean, but I don't consider myself really a stripper. I guess I do take off my clothes, I take off my top, and I go down to my G-string. But I don't take it all off. I consider myself an entertainer because I do more than just, get up there and dance. I give out poetry. I do a beer can crush between my tits. That's kind of my thing. I'd rather do that than a lap dance. I do lap dances, but I charge a lot of money for them.
That's what that
beer can crush is my claim to fame.
Yes, because I do. It's funny you mentioned that because yes, that was what someone said. It's like, yeah, they got a woman down there that crush beer cans with her tits. So I'm thinking to myself, I mean, imagine when I first heard this, I'm late teen, maybe 20, 21, something like that. I'm thinking, who the hell crushes a beer can with their tits?
Well, it's got to be empty, and it's a Pat Blue Ribbon. But I've done all different kind of cans. I even had my own beer there for a minute.
See, you got desserts, you got beer, you got comic. What haven't you done? What a better question, what are some other avenues that you wish to explore? Because I mean, let's face it, you're not obscure. You have a name, you have a reputation. You're known in Atlanta. But what are some other avenues that you haven't tried that you may be interested in venturing off to?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm gonna let Katie give me some ideas, but I tell you what, I still do want to write more. But hey, 3 hours of my day takes up prayer and Bible reading, which is the staple for me staying spiritual and not losing it through this pandemic. I'm not gonna let that bother me, because it didn't bother me last year. It's not gonna bother me this year. I may or may not get this vaccine. I'm not sure yet. If I say, "Oh, you need to get it," why? God's protected me, and I'm a wayward child. But I do try to do the right thing. Then maybe I should get it but I wear my mask all the time. Said we don't have to wear a mask on stage, but the customers don't have to wear their mask. I don't understand that.
So, I thought about it because, one of the things that's interesting about Atlanta is parked right in the middle of the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
This is a conservative state. You know, just like a strip club, you have a lot of you have churches on every major corner. So you do have a lot of conservative ideologies, thinking. How do you think, how is doing what you do? How can you do that in such an environment where people may be
a little judgmental? You mean?
Maybe judgmental, may not be as supportive, but even with all that going on, you still thrive.
I still thrive, but there's a lot of older white people that come in there on a Saturday afternoon. Their husbands, their kids come in with them and stuff like that. And when I give them a poem, something that I've written really substantially good, they're just blown away. They're blown away. They say, "You not only dance, you're right." I mean, I do a little country and western for them, or I may get up there and do a little ballet for them. They're blown away. They're blown away. So that really impresses them. Well, she's not just a dancer.
Right. She's multidimensional.
Yeah.
So
multi-talented.
So, in your opinion, what do you think are some stereotypes that people have about women in your profession? Because I mean, like I said,
that we're all prostitutes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was one at one time, but you could afford me. I was only $20. But yeah, those days are over. And I've had my girlfriends and my boyfriends. There are a lot of bisexuals in my type of business, because men can just get on your nerves after a while. It's okay, women. They're all a pain in my butt. I love them all, though. It's good, yeah. And they have stereotypical that they give their money to pimps and stuff like that. That does happen. I ain't never gave money. Are you kidding me?
Keep it all for yourself.
Yeah. Oh, no. Of course not. I spread my love around.
I got you.
I don't really... For me to take myself out yesterday to eat was rare. Because I eat at home all the time. And Katie always takes me out to eat. But I like to cook, and I'm a good cook. And just for myself, I still do pretty good. But like I said, for me to take it's rare. I like to buy gifts for people. I really do. I love it. That makes me feel good.
You say you're a good cook. What are your specialties as far as what you make the best?
I make a good brunch. I make different kinds of brunch. I make the best tacos. I've made Asian tacos, Spanish tacos, just regular tacos, American, I guess you wouldn't say. But I mean, I've just made all different kind of stuff. I'm pretty good at that. But you can't eat that every day.
Yeah, no, you can't. I mean,
I wish I could, but it's a rare treat. And there's a place that Katie takes me. I can't remember them, but it's Cuban. I'm not crazy about Cuban food, but they have the best sandwiches and just their little aioli sauces and stuff like that. They burn you up, but I'll tell you what, they make you feel woo inside, really good.
Good. Okay. Yeah. I like that. I mean,
I like to try different things. I look at different recipes from different books, but then I put my own spin on it. And that's what a good cook does.
So, you cook, and you mentioned you write poetry.
And other things.
You're a writer. What are some things that you like to write about?
Life in general, and things that have happened to me. Good things, bad things. Just all of it. It's a life experience, so when you write about your life, people are interested in hearing that because they don't know yet. And when you tell them about it, like my brother died of AIDS. I don't think I gave you that poem, but anyway, maybe another time. My brother died of AIDS, and I wrote and typed a poem about that. I only tell people to read that when they're at home because it's very sad. It's very sad. I mean, my mother still struggles with it. My mother's a very religious woman, and I wish to see her very soon. I know God's got her. I know He has. She lives in the Virgin Islands. I'm not much that likes to travel anymore. You can't. I'll be up high. Then I'm gonna have me a couple cocktails because I just don't like flying. I used to because you could just do whatever you want to, but now with all this stuff, and it just takes. I don't know. Just since 9/11, I'll tell you what. Everything has changed, and there's still so much violence going on. I write about that, and still I'm collecting everything to write about 9/11, which I haven't. I want to put it all in one thing together. Like I said, I've got to find some time because I still got to clean. I didn't clean today, and I normally clean on Mondays, but I cleaned so much Friday, I can wait till Wednesday and do it.
So you know the dancing, the cooking you enjoy, the writing. Would you consider yourself a Renaissance woman?
Yes, yes.
Indeed. Very good. Okay, so before we wrap things up, because this has been an awesome interview, where can people find? Obviously, they can find you at Clermont Lounge. You know, anybody, if you're traveling to Atlanta, make sure. I mean, there are plenty of things to do in Atlanta, plenty of tourist attractions, but Clermont Lounge needs to be at the top of your list.
You're right. And if you don't see me there, then I'll be at Friends across the street. It's a little gay bar, but everybody goes there.
Okay.
It's wonderful.
Okay.
I go there usually on Thursday evening, sometimes Saturday, but I've been going to work at 5 o'clock on Saturday, so I don't get there as much on Saturday. I was going to go yesterday, but I changed my mind.
Now, are you on? Do you have a social media you want to give out, a website?
Yes. Katie does my Instagram for me. I'm not on Facebook, but I may have to think about that.
Okay. Well, we can drop a link in the description. We can.
Yeah.
And you said there's your book, your
comic book.
Is it on Amazon or?
My comic book. You know, I do not know where it's at. And that other book, like I said, you have to look that up on Amazon. Dancing Making Material World. You can get that online. I think it's $15. It was like $30 or $40, I think, when the book first came out. I mean, it's a fantastic book. Interviews and just different things. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures from that. That's when I was a hot chick.
Okay. All right.
That's when I was hot. But I thank God for everything that I've got. And I thank Him for bringing Katie and Robert into my life. What would I be without them? God put them in my life for a reason, and me in theirs. I never thought I'd have a manager. I've had lawyers before to take care of different things. If I hadn't been with them, my beer company would have screwed me over royally. But you know what? They made sure that none of that happened, and I'm glad, very glad.
Indeed, watching over you. Everybody out there, this has been an awesome, awesome interview. Another great edition with Corner Confessions. We are wrapping things up. This is Blondie Strange. She is in the building. If you are in Atlanta, if you're visiting Atlanta, if you don't do yourself a favor and visit Clermont Lounge and hit up Blondie, you're doing yourself a great disservice. But that's just me. I don't know. Everybody out there, make sure you like this video, drop some comments, and most of all, subscribe to the video. Until next time, this is Troy Vaughn, also known as Trey Amazing, and we are out. Say goodbye.
Bye-bye. I'm Blondie Strange. Peace out. Don't forget, Katie makes jewelry. She made mine. Thank you.
Thank you.